Well, hello there, guys. Welcome back to the Battle of Little Bighorn, also known as Custers' Last Stand. So, last turn, we had a pretty interesting situation, and if you guys haven't seen it, you now can see it right here. The amount of Native Americans approaching the battlefield is becoming monumental. So now we are really getting into the nitty-gritty of this battle. And of course, we're here at the Medicine Tail Coulee. This is where a major part of the massacre took place. We're going to try to keep a lot of these native warriors back. The way to do that is basically just to fill them with lead, but quite frankly, this is going to be a tough fight. So one thing I'm going to do is just try to get as many of them to retreat as possible. We're going to go ahead and fire at Chief Gall. Getting the chiefs to retreat would be huge, and right now Chief Gall does seem to be in not the greatest shape of his life. He's fragmented now, so we are also going to fire over here at the Minkaju warriors. Now, I could attack, and in fact, in this situation, it might not be such a bad idea, but I think I'm just going to keep using those rifles to keep the enemy at bay, use the carbines, basically, and hope that this is enough. Of course, we'll use with the Indian Scouts, Lieutenant Varnum. We can also keep firing, and the reason I'm doing this is Custer, of course, charged into the coulee, and because of that, he got surrounded by Native Americans and obviously completely lost control of his forces. And I think the most important thing right now is to just stay in control by keeping these rifles trained on the enemy, try to keep firing to keep them back. We might charge in certain situations, but I think for the most part, we're going to try and keep our distance and just use our rifles to keep the enemy back here. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we can certainly try. And of course, I do want to get A Company out of the river here, although getting this close is pretty dangerous. We're still going to go ahead and get a little closer so that we're not on this side of the river. And we'll move forward here and keep on shooting. I'm going to fire at the Sanzark warriors there. And let's see what we can do with this guy over here, K Company. Now, K Company is actually in the most dangerous position, in my opinion. Actually, there is one more unit that's in an even worse position, and that is right here, E Company. So I'm going to see if we can't go ahead and not charge with E Company, but maybe try and turn back. It might be too late, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm actually going to go this way. And as you can see, we're getting hit really hard already. We're already fragmented, but I'm going to see if we can keep firing at these disrupted native warriors, and hopefully that's going to be enough to keep them back and to ultimately win the battle. Let's end the turn and turn it over to the natives, the Sioux and the Cheyenne Braves, and let's hope for a good outcome here. Right, I like to see the enemy running, and some of them are dispersing, so we can see that not all the enemy are really willing to hang in for the fight. They know that we've got superior weaponry, but that may not stop them all just by itself. We've got to get that, that retreat to 45%, and if we do that, obviously we automatically win the battle. But with the amount of enemies arriving at the battlefield, that's going to be very tough to do, my friends. There we go, fragmented. That's what we want to see. The more fragmented, the better. And if we can lay waste to this first line, we're going to be in a very good position. Oh boy, K Company. No! So the enemy's obviously going to return fire, but if we can keep most of them at bay, or at least make those that are attacking us retreat as soon as they get to the line, then we're going to be in a much better position. We can see that they're getting all of these reinforcements, and that's making it very hard for us. And there we go, our first company broke, D Company, and I kind of expected that. We tried to charge in with D Company, and look what happened. They might have made one of the enemy units rout, but because of that, they got stuck in behind a bunch of natives, and they cut them down to shreds. So I don't expect D Company to be coming back to this battlefield. In fact, I expect them to probably disperse before the end of next turn. But we'll have to see what actually occurs. Come on, boys. So you can see the Sanzark and the Blackfoot, the Brule, and the Two Kettle tribes are starting to bring their warriors to the battle. As long as we can waste these initial Sioux fighters and these Cheyenne fighters, I hope we're going to be okay. Come on, boys. Keep on firing. Once again, a melee phase. I don't think there's any melee going on right now. And it is time for the 7th Cavalry. So here we go. Now, these guys are disrupted, which really makes me want to charge this unit. But I know that if we charge, it's just going to set up, a terrible situation where we're going to end up charging this unit, and then we're going to go into this group of natives. They're going to cut us to bits and just throw us out like yesterday's trash. So for now, we're going to keep firing, especially at the weaker units here. We managed to break the Minikuju warriors. Hopefully that's going to disrupt some of these other enemies. If not, we're going to keep on shooting. But first, I'm going to turn towards the enemies here, because because we can't just focus on one unit. That would be a major mistake. Let's go ahead and keep firing here at this unit. And that's the Sandsark Warriors. Pretty tough guys. But I think we should also focus on these enemies right here, the Hunkpapa Warriors. And they have mainly carbines, so basically they know exactly how to use these weapons, these rifles, etc. We don't have any sort of advantage over them in that case, except for the fact that we know how to use the weapons a little bit better than they do. We've had a little more practice. Here we go with the Sandsark Warriors, and I'd love to charge right now, especially get that flanking charge, but we're staying back, guys. We're trying to use the line here to our advantage, and trying to put down as much damage on the natives as we can. I'm actually going to get in front of my unit here. C Company with the Indian Scouts. Still haven't managed to make the enemy run, but that's okay. We can also go ahead and turn towards the enemy here, but that's going to leave us open to attacks from the Cheyenne Braves. And I'd rather go ahead and open fire on the Cheyenne Braves, as well as Chief Magpie Eagle. That's a hell of a name, by the way. So we're going to go ahead and fire Chief Magpie Eagle. And I'm going to stop firing at those Minikuju Warriors just so the Chief Magpie Eagle can get the brunt of our shooting. But those Magpie Warriors, as you can see, they're going to fire, or the Minikuju Warriors, excuse me. Chief Magpie Eagle is getting them in my head. Are going to keep firing those bows and arrows at us, and it ain't going to be pretty. So I am going to move K Company over here. Yes, I'm turning my flank to the enemy. Never a good idea, but I'm trying to get these Hunkpapa youths in the deep stream to retreat. And if they retreat, we're going to be in a much better position. Also, I think that's it for reinforcements. I'm pretty sure we're not getting any more. And that, obviously, spells trouble for us. So let's turn it over to the Braves, and let's hope for the best. Also, make sure, guys, if you are new to this series, to watch the first and second part of these videos. They really help you understand what's going on, and in this case, it's almost essential that you watch that stuff. You can see we've made a lot of the natives retreat and rout, but retreating isn't the same as routing. You know, if they retreat, they're not routed. They can come back to the battlefield anytime they want, and they're retreating probably to send forward a newer, fresher group of natives to just give us total hell. So we have to be careful about that. You can see, look at that, some Hunkpapa Braves, and sure enough, we turned our flank to them and they attacked. I should have known that, but I was too eager to get the attack on the guys in the stream, and now they can attack us from multiple locations and cause some serious damage. So here we go, we've got more units moving up. A few of our soldiers are able to return fire, but we're going to have to see how this goes, my friends. Alright, at this point, we could do something crazy, and that is we could go just on a full-out charge, just like Custer, obviously, and try to just hit these guys with all the force we have. But I feel like that's probably going to be a mistake that we're going to regret later, and it's going to put us right where the natives want us, right there in the Medicine Tail Ford, and it's not going to be a good situation for us. So you can see a lot of the units that we've damaged previously that were fragmented or damaged, they're retreating. They're going to wait for the newer Braves to come forward and take their place. And it's actually a really good strategy. So here we go. Opening fire. Come on, boys. Enemy's also opening fire. We got very lucky there, though. Now, over here on the melee phase, I'm not sure we're going to get so lucky. Luckily, the 7th Cavalry managed to turn towards them and fight. Good job by K Company. So we actually forced the enemy to fall back purely due to casualties. And at this point, I think our best bet is to just keep opening fire there and just try to focus on the units that are damaged here and that aren't running. You can see K Company's already getting disrupted. They know what to do here to force us to retreat. Fire. So we're really focusing on the fragmented units mostly. I think that gives us our best chance. That's what we want to see, a break, and that's obviously going to scare the rest of the Braves. Now over here, I really don't want to charge, but at the same time, H Company can't get a shot off, and I'm starting to think that a charge might not be such a bad idea right now. We take F Company, Captain Yates, and charge here. Who knows what can happen, but yeah, we're going to go for it. I know it's probably not the greatest idea because the enemy's going to evade. That's why it's not a great idea. Move forward, though. Turn towards the enemy. And keep on firing. You just got to keep up the shots, guys. Open fire, boys. And the Blackfoot Warriors, they mainly have bows, but those bows, if they know how to use them, that's obviously the problem. Go ahead and move our men here. Fire at the Blackfoot. Not bad, not bad, but right here is where we have a serious problem. Some Cheyenne Warriors and Chief Magpie Eagle, and a charge would not work against these Cheyenne Braves. They are notorious for being excellent in close combat. All I'm really trying to do here is get Chief Magpie Eagle to falter. He's certainly evil to us, or evil to the 7th Cavalry. And you can see that if we get into a fight with this guy, he knows how to kick our ass pretty much. Now, E Company might be able to save their skins and regroup, although honestly, I highly doubt it. I think more than likely E Company's pretty screwed, and so is F Company here, since now they're trapped right there where the natives want us, and they can attack us from multiple angles. But we're going to go ahead and end the turn and turn it over to Sitting Bull. Alright, so a lot of those natives are dispersing, just throwing down their weapons. They'd rather go hunting than fighting. But you could see that because we chased that guy, we actually got him to rally. So we should have just fired and hoped for the best. Now, of course, we've got a unit that's stuck right there in the middle of a bunch of natives. It's not going to look good for him, and the natives are going to keep charging K Company here as much as they need to. Look at that, another charge, and this time they got a nice hit. 18 of K Company's men are down right there. I can only imagine the kind of weapons that the natives are using. Certainly axes, stone hammers, vicious stuff that if you get hit with it, you're certainly going to feel it. Let's put it that way. You might not be wounded, or you might not be killed at first. You might just be wounded. But obviously, at the end of the battle, and this actually happened in the real Battle of the Bighorn, the natives came and finished the rest of the 7th Cavalry off. So even if you're wounded in a battle like this, your chances of survival are pretty damn small. There we go. Poor F Company with Captain Yates. It's not looking good for him. And we've got a bunch of Oglala warriors now. You see all of the nations, all of the Plains Indian nations are moving forward. They all want a piece of the 7th Cavalry. And we've got to make sure that they know that if they're going to try, they're going to lose a lot of men in the process. They know we're here to burn down their village, burn down their reservation, and they're not about to give up that easily. Alright, shooting phase, come on boys. And of course the melee phase over here on the far left mostly, where we could have to break right here, especially if the natives put up a good fight. Oh boy, 20 fragmented, that's not going to be very good. And of course it's our turn now, the 7th Cavalry. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying the series. If you are, you know what to do. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to check out the other parts of this series. We want to make sure that you guys understand the full battle and what we have to lose, what we have to gain. And I think if you watch the other parts of the series, you're going to get a much better understanding. Obviously, we love all the amateur historians and actual historians that visit the channel. So if you've got any information about this battle, please do share it. We always like to hear from you guys. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you have an awesome, awesome day. Don't forget to share the channel with your friends. And let's see if we can't get a break on Chief Magpie Eagle before the end of this particular Let's Play. Maybe not. In fact, we might have to start charging here pretty soon. Anyway, guys, thank you, take care, and have an awesome, awesome day.